You prepare for months. You walk into the interview room, confident, hopeful. You answer every question like you've rehearsed them 100 times. You smile, shake hands, walk out thinking, that went well. Then the email comes. We regret to inform you. Your heart sinks. Your stomach twists. You stare at the screen, reading the rejection over and over, as if it'll say something different the next time. And then the voice creeps in. Maybe I'm just not good enough. We've all been there, that sinking feeling of failure, of giving your best and still being told it's not enough, of trying and watching it fall apart. But what if that moment, that precise moment of disappointment, isn't the end? What if it's the beginning? In today's world, we're told to keep climbing, keep achieving, keep winning. Success is broadcasted on every feed, every highlight reel, every LinkedIn post. We scroll past the glossy photos, the promotions, the wins, and slowly, without even realizing it, we start believing the lie. If I'm not constantly succeeding, I must be failing. We treat setbacks as stains on our identity. One bad grade, one lost job, one breakup, and suddenly we're questioning our worth. But here's the truth the modern world often forgets. Failure is not a verdict. It's a direction. And the way we interpret our setbacks, that makes all the difference. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they lived in a world just as chaotic, if not more. War, betrayal, exile, disease. And yet, they cultivated a philosophy so powerful it has outlived empires. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He didn't just endure setbacks, he used them. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." To him, hardship wasn't misfortune, it was training. And Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor deeply aligned with Stoic principles, once wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." These aren't just words. They're weapons forged in fire, shaped by experience. They all point to a single truth. You cannot always control what happens, but you can always control what it means to you. Pain isn't punishment. It's preparation. A failed attempt doesn't say, "You're done." It says, "You're being forged." The Stoics believed that setbacks weren't interruptions to our path, they were the path. The obstacle is not blocking your way. The obstacle is the way. So how do we do that? How do we take a real, raw, gut punch of a failure and somehow turn it into fuel? It sounds good on paper, but in the moment, it hurts. It breaks you. And that's exactly why we need a process, a mental training loop. One that doesn't rely on emotion or luck, but on clarity and discipline. The Stoics didn't avoid pain. They learned how to sit with it, observe it, and transform it. And you can too. There's a method, simple but not easy. 3 steps, 3 shifts in perspective. And if you practice them, even when everything in you wants to shut down, you'll discover something powerful. Failure doesn't destroy you. It reveals you. Step 1. Pause the narrative. The first instinct after any setback is reaction, emotion. We panic, we spiral, we start crafting a story, and we play the lead role of the victim. This always happens to me. I'm not cut for this. It's over. But the Stoic pause is a sacred space, a brief, deliberate moment where you stop the storm before it builds. Just breathe. Literally, 3 deep breaths. Then grab a pen, write down exactly what you're thinking. No filters, just get it out. And then, look at it like an outsider. Is it a fact or just a feeling? Did you fail, or are you just afraid of what that failure might mean? The goal here isn't to fake positivity, it's to create space, because in that space, you take back control. Step 2. Reframe the setback. This is where the Stoic lens sharpens. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What muscle is this pain building? You lost a job, are you learning resilience? You got rejected, are you developing humility? You were criticized, is this sharpening your clarity and courage? Marcus would ask, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. If it is, then it's your responsibility. Seneca didn't ask, why me? He asked, what now? When you look at setbacks not as signs of failure, but as signals for growth, you begin to rewire your brain for power. You begin to respond, not react. Step 3. Convert to action. This is where most people stop. They reflect, they journal, they feel a little better, but then they wait. They linger in thought. Not you. You move. The Stoic way is always toward meaningful action. Ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do today to move forward? Not tomorrow, not when I feel ready. Today. It could be sending one email, going for one walk, fixing one detail. You're not trying to win back the whole war, you're just taking back 1 inch, and each inch adds up. Slowly, momentum replaces despair. Slowly, dignity returns. Because action, even the smallest kind, is a declaration, I'm not done. Let me tell you a story. A woman sits in a tiny apartment in Edinburgh, Scotland. She's divorced, broke, raising a child on her own, living on government assistance. Her dream of being a writer seems impossible. Publishers have rejected her manuscript over and over 12 times. Some don't even bother replying. Every no chips away at her belief. She could have stopped. She could have said, the world doesn't want this. But instead, she returned to the page. Again and again. She used the pain not to punish herself, but to purify her purpose. She stopped writing to please publishers. She started writing from her truth. That woman was J.K. Rowling. The book? Harry Potter. The rest you know. But what you may not know is this. Her breakthrough wasn't in being accepted. It was in not quitting. The rejection didn't block her path. It became her path. She didn't succeed in spite of failure. She succeeded because of how she carried herself through it. That's the Stoic way. That's the mindset we forget we're allowed to choose. Life won't always give you what you want, but it will always give you the opportunity to respond with strength. Every setback is a crossroad. One road leads to bitterness, the other to breakthrough. You don't have to feel strong to choose the second. You just have to begin, not with a grand gesture, not with a flawless plan, just with a moment of clarity, a pause, a reframing, and a single step forward. So here's your challenge, not for a month, not for a year, just for the next 24 hours. Think of a setback that still lingers in you, one that stings, one you haven't made peace with. Now, write it down. Then ask, what did this teach me? How did it shape me? And what can I do today to reclaim its power? It might be a message you need to send, a chapter you need to write, a truth you need to admit. Whatever it is, start. You're not meant to stay stuck. You're meant to be shaped. If this video gave you a new way to see failure, not as the end, but as the beginning, then leave a comment. Share one lesson you've learned from a setback. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you're building a mindset that can't be broken, you're in the right place. Subscribe, because here, we don't escape hardship. We train for it. And we turn every fall into fuel.